Mike. I'm Tony, and we're here to do a quick and dirty review of Rick and Morty Season 5, mostly because I recommended it a couple weeks back when we were talking about our catch-up. And apparently, after some discussion, Mike felt we needed to hash this shit out in a peaceful way. so, fire away, man.
Overall, I think it was a downgrade from the previous seasons. There are some episodes that are good. Don't get me wrong, the first episode with Nimbus is freaking hilarious and a classic Rick and Morty through and through. Mm-hmm. The next one that I really remember that I really enjoyed was the Planet Tina.
Yeah.
Was that with the...
their Captain Planet
Yeah, their Captain Planet ripoff was fantastic. And then the last episode I really enjoyed with the evil Morty at the end. And then everything else in between seemed very filler-ish. But really my biggest beef overall with the season was kind of the portrayal of the character Rick. To me, he seemed like he came across... I downgraded and I guess just kind of stupid. Like he needed help from people and that, which is kind of weird. Where just as, I think it was even the season before, you had Pickle Rick who turned himself into Pickle, and yet managed to save the day, with the help of Jaguar. But I mean,
yeah, but Jaguar. I mean, but
but so yeah. So I don't know what they were doing with the writing for that. It didn't sit well with me. So we're
where you and I differ is I think there was really only one dud episode this season, and it was the one with all the duplicates. Just because
that was awful.
It was nonsensical.
Yes.
It wasn't going to go anywhere, and you knew it wasn't going to go anywhere. Just for that simple fact. So that's the only episode that I was just kind of like, yeah, whatever. I've watched it twice, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, there's no deeper, nuanced meaning there. But for the season overall, and this is where Mike and I disagreed, is I actually thought that this is kind of doing two things. This season was showing Rick's character arc, and that it was actually exploring Rick, because Rick at his core has always been a lonely character. He has always, even though he is the smartest man in the universe, he kind of outwardly shuns other people's company, but at the same time, he always finds that one person that he gloms onto, which... At the beginning of the show, it was Morty. Morty was his grandson that he would drag all across the universe on all these bizarre-ass adventures, and he would always, come in to save the day. At the end of Season 4, his family kind of told him, we're good. You know what? We don't need you. Beth had sorted her marriage out with Jerry, and they were no longer getting divorced, so Rick was no longer the center of Beth's universe. And there were two Beths. There was the one that went to space and the one that stayed at home, and both of them rejected Rick. And then to top it all off, Summer and Morty both basically said, hey, we've got two badass moms now, we really don't need you. And they left him sitting alone in his garage. That was how Season 4 concluded.
What?
No, I was just going to say, so when Season 5 starts off, they're not as excited to go on adventures with him.
And that's where you're wrong. And it's plainly explained in the other episode I really enjoyed, the Ferret Go Robot Voltron episode, where they are actively fighting for Rick's attention. Summer is deliberately going out of her way to get Rick's attention. So is Morty. And the final episode is Morty turn himself 40 years old just to get Rick's attention again. So that theory...
No.
It's out the window.
You're talking about them out of order, because the Ferret episode was episode 6?
Oh, I don't remember.
And in the meantime, you have Morty who doesn't want to go explore a planet, so he drags Summer along, and they're supposed to go have wild sex with 3 planets that are going to be destroyed. And at the end of the day, he winds up attaching to this random alien with boobs on her elbows. Yeah. And Summer is dressing him down about it. I thought you said no attachments. I thought you said this. And then she does the most Rick thing ever by actually saving that planet and letting all of those aliens live with the guilt and shame of what it's meant the previous weekend.
But you're trying to say is that the children don't want anything to do with Rick
anymore.
No.
When the season starts,
quite the opposite.
When the season starts, because Morty is running around with Planet Tina, and Morty, and through this season, there is more continuity than probably any season prior to this. You actually see a character arc with Beth, you see a character arc with Summer, you see a character arc with Morty, and then you see a character arc with Rick, and even so much so, Rick's been rejected by so many people, even when he gets Bird Person. He resumes actually repairing Bird Person and putting him back together, and Bird Person's like, you're kind of a terrible person, and tells him, to screw off and leaves. The whole, one with the ferret version of Voltron, that whole episode, they do want to include Rick, but Rick's not running the family like he was. They all want to be this, but eventually when he starts he does Go Ferret or whatever the hell the thing is called. What is it?
It doesn't matter.
Ferretron. when they build Voltron and then they build Go Voltron and then
Go Voltron.
Yeah,
it keeps going from there.
And even at that point, like literally all these alternate realities all get sick of Rick. They get sick of the crap that he's pulling, and they all so while it does start off with they're all trying to jockey for position to be a part of Voltron. At the end of it, they all kind of disappear. The one thing that I will say was missing this season is there was a real lack of Jerry.
Yes.
In a lot of this one. And Jerry's always been kind of a focal character in this, in that he's, that loser that is so pathetic that people feel sorry for him. But he wasn't really around that much this season.
Yeah.
But ultimately, at the end of this particular season, we get something we've never gotten before. We get Rick's backstory.
Which I don't want.
Well,
I don't want it.
I
want the mystery. I don't want that shit. No. I don't want them on Rick and Morty. I don't want deep character evolution. No. I don't want that. We didn't have that for 4 seasons. Why do we have all of a sudden now in the 5th season?
I don't want it. I'm going to tell you that this was the creators.
and I probably won't be going back to Rick and Morty after this. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll probably watch the 6th season, but I'm going to go into it really, kind of whatever.
So you're kind of watching the 6th season of Rick and Morty, like Archer season 12?
I stopped watching Archer after season 5 or 6 or something like that. And that's the same thing. That was a great show, and then it just goes downhill. So no, I think I'm done with Rick and Morty after this one. I really think I am.
I see. The funny thing about it is that I think that this season was done specifically to address all the fans bitching, what's Rick's backstory? What's this? What's that? All right, I'm going to give it to you. And you're absolutely right about one thing. When you actually answer all those questions and the mystery is gone, some people will be like, hey, yeah, that was okay. And other people are going to be like, that's not as satisfying. That was not what I had in mind. That didn't do anything for me. So I understand your response. I get it. Yeah. And I actually went and looked on Reddit after you and I had our conversation.
But sometimes people less is more. I mean, mystery, mystique is where it's at.
Beyond that, it is intended to be absurdist commentary about society.
Yes.
And for everybody to want character arcs for all of these absurd characters, it really just goes to show you that you should never listen to fucking fans of anything ever. And Rick and Morty fandom is a toxic cesspool. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. But at the end of the day, the episodes that you don't ask for that do the craziest shit, like the Pool of Acid episode, which is one of my favorite episodes of Rick and Morty ever. The shit I never asked for is the stuff that is the most satisfying to me. And at the end of the day, I will definitely still be returning to Rick and Morty because I think it's fun and it's funny and it's stupid. But I would like to see a return to form. There's always been arcs.
I want to return to.
There's always been arcs. There's always been, what's going on with Beth and Jerry, what's been going on with Morty and Summer, what's been going on. That's always been a part of it. But I never needed a backstory to the Citadel. I was content to leave it as this is the repository for all the Ricks across the universe and all the Mortys across the universe, the ones that needed to abandon their timelines for whatever reason. So, wait, did we lapse?
Not yet.
Not yet. We're gonna lapse. Anyway, I liked it. I can understand why some people didn't, but I also think that the creators were basically saying, "All right, this is what you want. I'll give it to you." And now people that are complaining about it, that's on you. So,
no. I'm complaining, but I didn't want any of that shit, so that's not on me.
Not on him, but on the rest of you. So, you did. You played yourself.
Thank you, Ice-T. So, I mean, that's pretty much it for this one. Tell us, guys, what you think about it. If you liked the season, if you didn't like the season. And
we would love to hear your thoughts on Rick
Yeah.
and Morty, and I'm happy to debate you on any of the finer points, just because I've got nothing better to do. So.
see you guys next time.